Thank you, Dan. Welcome, everyone. It's a Monday. I hate those 2 days off when I can't be with my kids.
Oh yeah, right. Like, let's go there.
I am so happy to be back here on Monday morning, 6 minutes after the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019. 48 degrees outside. Shane and Talbot on with me. What could be better than this right now?
A sunny day.
Well, maybe.
There you go.
Well, we are going to have a sunny day today. It's going to be mostly sunny with a high near 71. How do you like that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 48, so that's not too bad. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 66, and we will be getting some high winds there, so be ready for the wind if you out there with a light hat on or toupee.
That's right.
Want
Yeah.
to be careful. Let's see. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 66, and wind gust could get up to almost 50. So be careful out there. Then Tuesday night, slight chance of rain between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m., and a low of around 44, and the winds will continue. Chance of precip Tuesday night, only about 20%, so not too bad. On Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 65. And Wednesday night, a 30% chance of rain after 1 in the morning and partly cloudy, low around 46. And then on Thursday, rain likely, mainly between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. Then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm later on. Chance of precip is 70% on Thursday during the day. And then Thursday night, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm before 7 p.m. Then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 7 and 1 a.m. Then a chance of rain after that. So you're going to get a rainy Thursday night, sounds like. Friday, a chance of rain before 10 a.m. Then a chance of rain or snow between 10 a.m. and 1. Then likely rain after that. So it's going to be only a high of 52 on Friday. Rain likely before 4 a.m., then rain and snow likely. So you might get some snow on your Saturday running around. Mostly cloudy with a low around 36. So that's your weather for the immediate future. Temperatures right now around the area, Livingston's 56 degrees, Manhattan is 45, Three Forks is 46, Gallatin Gateway 51, Ennis is 50, Big Sky's 42, and at the airport in Belgrade is 45 degrees. Right now we're at 48 degrees at our lavishly appointed downtown studios at 9 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. on Monday.
On Monday. Magical Monday, the beginning of the week. How wonderful.
I'm excited to be here, I got to tell you. Liquid soap or bar soap is our poll question of the day. Liquid soap or bar soap, the early returns, 42% of you say I use both, 28% like bars, 14% say who needs soap, and 14% have another answer, which would be shampoo. I just use my shampoo for the whole deal. so there you are. No liquid soap yet, but it's early voting. We've only got a few votes in at the moment. So
Yeah, I'm a bit old school, but shampoo sort of like liquid soap to me.
Well, it
now.
sort of is. Yeah, I mean,
It really is.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And
for
then
you, so, yeah.
I'm a little Italian, so I have a bit of body hair. So yeah, I use this shampoo to wash my hair too on my body because it's shampoo. Why not, right?
Well, I'm redheaded. I don't have any hair anywhere other than on my head.
Too much knowledge on a Monday morning.
Right, TMI. All right. Let's see. Our poll question from Friday. When you do dishes, do you what? Use a dishwasher, one with 39%. Wash them right away was another 30%. And 15% wait for a sink full. And 15% have other answers, including I have kids do them, usually right away. Dishwasher and hand wash items that don't go in the dishwasher. I never do dishes, and wash them as I eat them was another answer.
Yeah.
So there you are.
I clean as I go, as I said yesterday. Keep a
Yeah.
kitchen clean always while you're cooking.
That's it. All right, go for that. All right, Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. As they say in the business, we will be on assignment. We'll be doing extra special stuff for the show.
Yeah, I'm going to go down and check out the border.
Okay, the border at Canada and Mexico, or check out the border at Canada.
I'm not going to Mexican border. I'm just going to go down. Go down and check the border.
Well,
here.
we got those hogs coming across the border and tearing everything up.
Check that out.
You got to go down and check out the borders.
Apparently, there's some wandering cattle.
All right. Well, I've got some personal business I've got to take care of on those 3 days. So, anyway,
you know what the extent of our boundary is, right?
Yeah, right.
No, it's one single piece of wire.
Oh yeah, that's true.
With red painted topped posts.
Red painted top posts. Okay.
Yeah. So they have a fence line with iron bars painted red on the top and a wire running on it, and that's the border.
That's the border between Mexico and Canada.
No, Canada and the U.S.
Or Canada and the U.S. Okay. Yeah.
Longest,
well, I guess that's true.
Longest defined border in the world, by the way.
Oh man! Wow. Well, puff puff.
Yes, exactly. Now, what did you think about this thing with Thomas Cook? Wow. I mean, this thing's been around since 1841, 178 years, 23,000 employees, 9.5 billion in revenue, and bust last night, 2 a.m. our time. They shut it down. Worldwide, 150,000 people are stranded. The ministry in England has to repatriate largest peacetime repatriation of people ever. 150,000 people. They've had to rent 40 planes. They say it'll take 2 weeks, 1,000 flights to get their people home. Of course, that includes people in Europe. Mm-hmm. 1 million people are now stranded because they had, travel plans with them.
Yeah, it was a travel agency.
Yeah, 9.5 billion in revenue in 2018 with 250 million income.
And they closed overnight.
Yeah, they closed last night, and it's 20,000 employees worldwide.
Well, wouldn't they already have their tickets? What's the big deal?
It's shut down. All the planes have been grabbed because they can't pay. They had no cash, ran out of cash. The government wouldn't lend them money. Went to the Chinese, they said no. Went to a bunch of private equity funds, they said no.
So they issued tickets to passengers and didn't pay the airline for the tickets.
There were 150,000 people on holidays, that flew on planes and stayed at their resorts or other rented resort. It was a travel place. I used it once back in the 80s. Very expensive. Never used it again. I thought it was very bad, but I would. But anyway, came out 1841.
Wow.
Thomas Cook started this.
I guess they sent people to the Civil War, huh?
1841. It's before that.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, wow. Anyway,
or if they sent anybody to Ford's Theater.
Ooh, that's cool. They may have sold tickets because these companies do that. But this is not a good show for the EU economy, because a lot of people haven't been traveling a lot the last 2 years. The doubts about Brexit, the concerns about terrorism. Yeah, it's there's a lot more terrorism in Europe than there is here, right?
Well, it certainly seems that way. I mean, the proximity's closer, and you have more people in those countries than we have here. I think that.
Oh, that's right. They let like 2 million refugees in.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so I'm amazed we haven't had suicide bombers in New York or L.A. or someplace like that. I mean, I'm just totally amazed that nobody has been able to do that. I mean, it seems like it'd be a pretty simple deal, but.
Well, I guess, when you have a multi-billion-dollar, intelligence service supposed to keep you,
Yeah, but you got some lone wolf guy that, just knows how to make a pipe bomb or, or somebody makes one for him and you're going to be a martyr.
Well, I watched the men last night. I watched Levin last night. And he had that fellow Dan Bongino on, the
Yeah.
ex
Mm-hmm.
Secret Service, the ex New York cop.
Yeah.
He came out with a new book, went through it. My God, he defines exactly what went on since he's got this story going back to 1995.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, they bombed the World Trade Center in, what, 93,
No. I'm
didn't it?
talking about the Russian scandal that's come. I'm changing. I'm segueing
Oh,
on you here.
okay. Well, let us know where you're going, huh?
Yeah. You say
We were still
when you're
on
quiet, keep
bombers.
talking.
We were still on bombers in New York City, and now you're in
Yeah.
Russia all of a sudden.
Boring now. Let's go on something new. Monday morning. What else? I got to get those phones fired up.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many people are ready to get on the phone at 6 a.m., but we'll see.
Well, there's a brave hearts out there.
Yeah, there are, I'm sure. Well, we got to take care of a lot of farmers and ranchers out there right now because,
They're brave hearts too.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
patriots.
And we got to do the emergency broadcast system too. So
Oh,
we gotta do it.
really?
Yeah, because we're not going to be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I got to get it done today. So I don't have one less thing I got to worry about.
This is your Cuban impression of an emergency.
Yeah, it is. It's the FCC says, hey, you got to do it every day or once a week rather. So you got to write it, and you got to write it down when you did it.
It's our emergency day. Let's go. All right, Eagle Man, let it rip.
All right, here's Montana news in agriculture. Everything you would ever possibly want to know about ag is on right now. 23 minutes after the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. From our text line, Shane, if we had the true misfortune of Elizabeth Warren somehow being elected, is there anything she could do as president to take away our Second Amendment rights without going through Congress or the Senate? Even the Congress and the Senate, I don't think could do anything about our Second Amendment rights. That would require a constitutional amendment of some kind.
Correct.
That thing is etched in stone, man.
Yeah, that's exactly. Certainly as it's defined and the precedent set so far. She could do a lot of stuff with regards to regulation.
Yeah.
She could regulate. She could enforce some state regulations because a lot of states do have their own laws. We had that caller that said that Scalia changed the law and stipulated that guns could be regulated. Yeah, in that Hiller decision, what they said, the Supreme Court said, is states have the right to regulate guns,
right?
Not the federal government.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if I'm not. Maybe there's a federal law someplace that says you can't own a bazooka or a howitzer.
There are
something. Probably. I'm sure there are somewhere.
Exactly.
But most of that's up to the states as to. I mean, here in Montana, you can open carry anywhere in the state. Except federal buildings, I think, would be the only place they would stop you.
And the Department of Defense also has regulated restrictions of certain
who can own what
weapons. Yeah, who can own what? That's correct.
All right. Let's see. Also from our text line, no, it's not a good show for the UK, not EU economy. The ways you blur and oversimplification of complex issue is amazing. Well, we are amazing. We are amazing.
I said Thomas Cook went down because of the EU economy is in a recession, or certainly heading that way.
Yeah.
And people haven't traveled, because of the recession and terrorism and several other reasons. And so traveling, as we understand it, is down. That's what I said.
To certain areas, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
From our text line, 478-8298, we had a airline mechanic screwing with an airplane. How many mechanics are working in airlines that have a Muslim background? Well,
fascinating thing. Yeah, what he actually did was he sprayed foam into the air intake. He knew it would set off systems within the plane, and it wouldn't take off. But he figured he would be called in to repair, so he would get extra overtime. That's his defense so far. That's what he said, claiming.
Yeah. Okay. I have no idea how many mechanics are Muslim, but
But he was a naturalized citizen, and he'd worked for the company for 20 years. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't like he just came over on the boat 2 days ago and
No, exactly.
sabotaged the plane. So, well, it just goes to show that as we've said many times, mass shooters, people who commit crimes, everything like that. The people next door say, "Gee, we had no idea he was such a nice guy."
Well, I had to ask you this question. So when ISIS was rampaging and did the terrible things and the executions and stuff, and they put them on did you ever look at any of them?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because they said that he had those on his phone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's, that's what led them to believe that he could be a terrorist.
Well, way back when they decapitated Daniel Pearl and a couple of other people, Michael Savage actually had the video of that on his website. Way back when, yeah. It's not something that it's not something you want to watch. That's for sure.
Well, people did, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I say
after the fact. You may say after the fact it's not something you want to watch, but people did.
I was going to say if you want to eliminate the national debt, all you have to do is put executions on pay-per-view.
That's right.
And not the lethal injection ones, the one where they hang you or they, or they light you up in the gas chamber if they're still using the gas chamber or electric chair anywhere. I think some of them are. The firing squad or things like that. I think, I think a considerable amount of folks would tune in to a pay-per-view execution. Now, whether or not that would deter anyone, I don't know. But obviously, I think up till when the late 1880s or whatever, we had public executions. I mean, the people that were implicated in Lincoln. Mary Surratt and all those folks were hung publicly, just to kind of give you a little background into what may happen to you if you screw around shooting a president.
Hey, Uncle Bernie, announced this weekend at a rally that he's going to cancel all debt for Medicaid, Medicare. So,
well, all right, well, good for him.
He wants that older vote, right?
I guess so. I don't know. Well. He'll get my vote, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right.
Well, he had to outdo Warren's $200 a month boost in Social Security, right? So they got to outdo each other, right?
All right. Well, I know you can't wait to hear the Montana State News, Fox News, and Brooke Foster Weather, and Davis Cabinetry, and a bunch of other folks. So. Stay tuned because we're going to come right back.
All right. Good morning. This is KMMS.
24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. Looking for a high in the 60s today, almost 70 today. Sunny, pretty nice outside. Shane Matabin, half man, half amazing, joins me. And, hey, you want football tickets? Shane and I will not be here on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, so we're going to give away football tickets tomorrow. And one of the ways you can win is go to our app chat and text field goal, a field goal to us. Either one will work. But field goal, type field goal into the app chat, send it over to us, and you'll be in the drawing to win football tickets to Northern Arizona. It's military appreciation this Saturday, the 28th. I think it's 28th. Yeah, that'd be about right. I think. So if you want to get in, tomorrow we'll give 2 tickets away online, and we'll give 2 tickets away on the app chat. So if you haven't got the AM 1450 KMMS app yet, you need to get over and get that. And the app chat button is right next to the listen button. And all you got to do is hit the app chat, type in field goal. Get the toothpicks. We were trying to pick which one we were going to do for this week. So field goal, FIELDGOAL, field goal, and that will get you in the drawing, and you can get 2 tickets to the Saturday's MSU game. So. Enter now. Right. Enter often. Well, don't enter often. it's going to put you in alphabetically. So we're going to delete anybody that is in there a lot. So, but yeah, we'll notify you Tuesday afternoon if you win on the app chat. Well, actually, you've got till tomorrow at the end of the show to get the app chat in. Tomorrow, Tuesday, at the end of the show. After that, we won't take any more entries, and we'll do an app chat drawing with computer, and that'll pull somebody's name out, and boom, you'll be at the game. And also, during the probably 7 to 8 hour tomorrow, we'll give away 2 tickets on the air. So you got 2 chances to win. So get it done.
There you go.
All right. Let's see. Did John Paul Jones really say, "I have not yet begun to fight," Shane, during the 1779 Revolutionary War naval battle?
Yeah, but it's not where you thought.
Oh,
it was in England on the Battle of Flamborough Head, and it was September 23rd, 1779.
Mm-hmm.
He had a squadron of 5 ships that headed north to Scotland because the French fleet was approaching England.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he sort of got involved with this battle at the Battle of Lamberg Head, and he was on the Bohemian Richard, and it got hammered pretty good, but he did his job to come out quick. And when the Bohemian Richard was broadsided by the British, they demanded that he strike his colors, and of course he said famously, his crew heard them say, that I've only begun. I'm determined to make you strike yours, he said, and then he said, I've only begun to fight, and I may sink, but I'll be damned if I strike my flag. So yeah, so in effect he did, but not directly in North America. Oddly enough, in England. I'll bet people didn't know that.
Not in the Revolutionary War. Yeah.
It was during the Revolutionary War, but
yeah.
He was in England. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, in 1806, Lewis and Clark expedition returned to St. Louis from the Pacific Northwest and said, "Hey, there's this place, Bozeman, Montana."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe not. There's this place where Bozeman, Montana should be.
And amazingly, up the Missouri River, they followed the Missouri River for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what an expedition. I mean, can you imagine walking from, Kansas City, Missouri, all the way to, I guess it would be Portland, right?
Yeah. Somewhere over there.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Mm. But what a discovery. The naturalist work they did, the mapping they did. It's just phenomenal. It's an incredible set of documents to read, their daily logs that they kept. And it was very well documented with Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. And both came home and had different directions to the end of their lives. It was quite fascinating.
All right. Well, I know you're dying to hear 2 more minutes of insurance, so let's do that right now. So pay attention. 16 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. We're having a high old time today. Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We will be on assignment, as they say in the business. So stay tuned for rollicking entertainment, I'm sure, will be provided for you in our absence. So we will be back on Monday the 30th. So by all means, enjoy 3 days without us. I guess. All right. 1846, the planet Neptune was discovered by German astronomer Johann Gottfried Galilei. And why he didn't call it Galilei planet, I don't know.
But it's the eighth planet. It's the 8th planet in the system, farthest known planet. It's a gas giant. Mm. It's 2.8 billion miles away. Wow. It takes 164 years for it to orbit the sun, and it's named after the Roman god of the sea, and the astronomical symbol. Of course, there's a stylish version of Neptune's trident.
Astrological symbol, I think is what you mean.
Right. It's 17 times the mass of Earth, slightly more massive than its near twin Uranus. Thought to be a water planet because of its color blue, but nope, that's its atmosphere. And I believe it's made up of hydrogen. And it is a bit smaller than Uranus. But it's one of these planets that's rather remarkable in that it was found by mathematical prediction rather than empirical observation.
Wow.
So imagine. Like you said, yeah. So numbers don't lie, baby, even about planets.
Yeah. Well, in 1926, John Coltrane, famous jazz saxophonist and composer, was born in Hamlet, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, quite
amazing.
a guy.
Wow, and the body of work. Woo.
Yeah. And in 1930, another excellent musician and performer, musician Ray Charles, born Ray Charles Robinson in Albany, Georgia.
And, he made famous, of course, Southern music and African-American music that was developed by the slaves and continued on, and the blues, of course, because that is an American, form of music. And, wow, what a time that he lived, worked, and traveled all over. And people still wanted to see him through high and lows of the civil rights movement, but because he was such a remarkable guy. I mean, gosh, just incredible.
Yeah. Victim of hysterical blindness, watching his brother drowned.
That's right. It's amazing to think that you would suffer something so traumatic you'd go blind. It's pretty scary.
You don't want to see anything ever again. So.
Yeah.
1939, Sigmund Freud, who probably could have helped Ray Charles, founder of psychoanalysis, died at the age of 83.
Yeah, born in 1856 and died in 1939. And, he was educated as a neurologist. He developed and created the concept of psychoanalyst, or let me replace the priest, as someone for you to talk to. Yeah. And, it's quite an amazing accomplishment. He traveled all over Europe, endless volumes of books in regards to the people that he psychoanalyzed. And he created the concept of the ego and the superego, and elaborated most of his theory predicated on people being unconscious and hypnotized when he spoke to them.
Yeah.
He thought that they had the best ability to speak to him because of their neurotic behavior when they were hypnotized.
Yeah. Why do you hate your mother and your father?
That's right. And he said the most sane people in Europe were the Irish because of their ability to be able to deny. They had this incredible ability to deny anything, to survive psychologically. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
A beer and some denial will help you at the bar on Friday night, Tom.
Well, in 1957, 9 black students who had entered Little Rock High School in Arkansas were forced to withdraw because of a white mob outside. 1957.
Yeah, very sad. This began the awareness of it because of television, as you know.
Yep, Little Rock 9. Yeah.
That's right, and just a horrific attitude of it. But the remarkable thing is that because of this, it was President Eisenhower, a Republican, started to institute the protection of the African American and protecting them in the South and deregulating certain things, and certainly went after. He was the first one to go after the Ku Klux Klan, of course, and Jim Crow laws, all of which were conceived and supported by the Democratic Party, the party of slavery.
Yeah. Well, 1957 was the first Civil Rights Act under Eisenhower.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
1987, choreographer, director Bob Fosse died at the age of 60. All That Jazz, I believe, something like that.
That's correct. And the remarkable thing was he wasn't just fabulous for the work he did in theater, but what he brought to the two films, The Pajama Game, Chicago, and Cabaret. Cabaret was phenomenal, as you know. But it was his background was jazz, and that's why he created this whole new concept of dance, was predicated on jazz. And he won Oscars, Emmys, and even Tonys. So he's one of the most recognized of his peers in theater and film. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. After watching I'm sure you watched the Emmys last night, right?
No,
No, not
no.
either.
Do I, what,
Not good.
I
Not
only I only have so much time left.
Lad, you need 5 words or less, you can really change the whole conversation. That's good.
That's right. Well, we are going to talk a little bit about the Emmys because of a local connection here in a minute. But anyway,
Good.
so anyway, 1990, Iraq threatened to destroy the Middle East oil fields and attack Israel if other nations tried to force it from Kuwait. And of course, we know what happened there. And
That's right.
Bush should have just kept on going.
Yeah, he could have, but
went up the highway of death and should have just went right on into the middle of Baghdad and said, "This is over, man."
But that wasn't what the deal was.
That wasn't the deal. Yeah.
72 hours later, it was over, baby.
Yep, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Well, in 1990, the Mars Climate Observer apparently burned up as it was about to go into orbit around Mars, the red planet.
That's right, and this was the second, program after the Viking. Was Mars or the Solar System Exploration Committee. Of this, and they did have several others that did and were successful and have led to landings and trolling the planet. Haven't found much, but
yeah, well, not much there.
It's definitely there.
All right, we got to take another quick break. We're back in 2 minutes, but at least it's not insurance. Well, sort of. You're going to hear from Babel and, of course, the whatever adjective you want to put in front of Bill O'Reilly. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. 6 minutes for the top of the hour. It is Monday, September the 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. Shane and Tobin on the line. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. This is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And on this date in 2011, the soap opera All My Children broadcast its final episode on ABC following a 41-year run on the air.
And if you include the internet, 43.
Well, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, 10,712 episodes.
Wow.
That's if you include the internet, television.
Yeah.
Just on 10,755 on television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, there are a lot of women that were hooked to this baby.
Yes, there were.
Yeah.
Well, in I guess it wasn't 19. It was Caesar Augustus was born on this date in 63 BC. And I wonder how they knew it was 63 BC when Christ wasn't born yet. So.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Well,
they had the Roman calendar then, didn't they?
Well, yeah, of course they did.
Well,
but it wasn't really
why is it BC then? How come it isn't Romans March 20 or whatever it is today, September 23rd?
Well, I can't answer that. All I can say is that the Pax Roma started under his leadership. He was the first emperor. As you said, he took over, and 44 BC was when Caesar was killed. Yeah. Lived to 75, ruled for 40 years. The empire was split in three between him and Lepidus, the general, and he took the western part, and Octavian took the central, and of course, we all know Marcus took, the eastern part, which included Egypt, and of course he had an affair with Cleopatra. Anyway, Octavian conquered them all. It took him 3 years, and for 200 years, Tiberius, who was the next emperor, led Rome into Pax Roma, 2 years of relative peace, other than the battles and skirmishes along their borders.
Yeah, I have an authentic Roman coin stamped 23 BC.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So
I bet you could buy a house with that.
Probably could. Yeah. Let's see, boy. There's not many other notable notable people born on this date. Walter Lippmann. Some people might remember that name. American newspaper commentator and author, born on this date in 1889. Died in 74 at the age of 85. And Tom Clark, American Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, born in 1899. Died in 77 at the age of 77. And John Coltrane, of course, that we mentioned earlier, born on this date and died at the age of 40 in 1967. So those are the folks that we need to address and talk about today. And don't forget, we're going to give away football tickets tomorrow. And those of you who have the app chat, if you don't have the app chat, go to AMS 1450 KMMS, download the app to your phone and sign up for the app chat. The app chat button's right next to the listen button. And if you will text us field goal on the app chat, we will put you in the drawing for 2 tickets to the game on Saturday against Northern Arizona. It's Military Appreciation Day, so it should be a fine time for veterans to win. So we'd like to give the tickets away to some veterans if there are any out there. And we're also going to give away 2 tickets on the air between the 7 and 8 tomorrow. And Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, so we got to give these tickets away tomorrow. You have up until the end of the show to app chat us field goal tomorrow. So get field goal on your app chat. If you don't have the app chat yet, do a search for AM 1450 KMMS app. Or go to our website. It's got a link there where you can download it, and we'll get it done for you. So we want to send 4 people to the game this week, and you can talk about how great the Morning Soapbox is while you're watching the game.
I always talk about how great we are. We want all that support.
That's right.
We gotta have it.
You gotta have it. You gotta have it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a fundamental thing to listen to the show. You got to back us whole.
That's right. All right. All right. We've got to duck out of here. And coming up, local news. We'll be talking about some local stuff going on here. We got a drug epidemic going on. We've got, other stuff happening. Tester's in the news. So we want to talk about him and the city police. Oh, man, there's a lot to talk about. So we'll do that coming up right after the news at the top of the hour. Stay tuned. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back, everyone. 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It is Monday, September 23rd, 2019. 48 degrees outside. Shane Montalban, half man, half amazing, on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. What a place that must be.
It has been beautiful. I actually had a cleared weekend, ended up being 62 to 68 all weekend with sunny skies. Pretty nice.
Well, all right. Well, it would be sunny here if we had less drugs, Shane, but apparently we don't. The Missouri River Task Force says that they see a trend in bigger, growing Montana cities. Bozeman, Livingston, and Helena were experiencing a lot more of drugs in general, but primarily we're looking at more methamphetamine in Bozeman.
Not good.
Not good at all. Yeah, the meth is still the top of the list for drugs in the task force area. Spike in heroin puts the drug at number 2, and police are seeing some cocaine, though it's not as prevalent as it once was. So, the drug task force, I'll get it in a minute, does Gallatin Park, Marr, Madison, Broadwater, Sweetgrass, and Lewis and Clark counties. So they have their hands full with those various groups there. So, but they've seized 2019 21 pounds of meth from those counties, an uptick of about 8 pounds from the previous fiscal year. So we have quite a growing issue here, and it's coming from Mexico and also California, Oregon, and Washington. So, there's plenty of supply, I guess, as long as there are buyers, then the supply is ready to go. So,
right, the basis of capitalism, unfortunately, supply and demand. If there's a demand, someone will create the supply.
Someone will supply it, won't they? Well,
legal or otherwise.
Amen to that. Yeah. Well, the other thing in other news, there were about, Shane, there were at least 300 or 400 people that still went to the climate thing in the rain, no less.
Wow.
To Bogart
raining,
Park. Yeah. Oh, it rained all day. Yeah, it rained. It was raining when I left the station, and then it rained all day till early evening, I guess.
And I assume, showing their commitment to it all, they were all naked, right?
They were all naked. Yeah, they didn't have any made in China umbrellas or
nothing with petrochemicals in it.
No, they had no phones. Nobody took any pictures of the thing or how many people were there or anything like that. So we only have someone's word. There was 300 or 400 people there.
So, it's one of those things, my friend.
But hey, what's the choice? You got to go back to school.
Or the 18th century, one or the other.
Well, I don't know about that, but let's see. Did you guys know? Well, Shane knows this. Did you guys know that the Romans named the 5 planets closest to the sun after the most powerful gods? Likewise, Neptune, which has a bluish hue, was named for the Roman god of the sea, and the exception to the rule is Uranus, which is full of deep craters and was obviously named after a human body part. So
there you go.
There you are. So we had no idea.
Deep craters with several bulges.
Right. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, and large quantities of preparation H.
Exactly. In the atmosphere.
Who tested preparation A through G? I want to know. That's one of the questions.
It's a scary thought, isn't it?
That's one of the questions I want to know. So, but anyway, well, John Chester is in the news. He says the federal program that's supposed to forgive college debts for public service workers has become a bureaucratic nightmare. And he's asking the U.S. Department of Education to explain what it's doing to fix the problem. Chester and Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, running for president, of course, wrote a letter to Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education, saying they're concerned about the mishandling of the public service loan forgiveness program, but Congress created the program for teachers, social workers, police, hospital, and other public service that says if you faithfully made 10 years of college loan payments after their remaining federal student debt would be canceled. 99% who have applied have been rejected. So I guess they didn't pay their 10 years. I don't know, but anyway, the Education Department processed 54,000 applications and approved only 661. So out of $700 million, Congress gave the Education Department in 2018 to fix the original program's problems. Only $27 million has been used. I would say that's saving the taxpayers' money.
I would say so too.
Like it. Well,
you would think so.
I don't know. Well, in the first place, I'm all for people going into public service. I mean, it's a need. It's a need.
Well,
but
you wouldn't have a government if they didn't, right?
But the public service rarely produces anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like if you give to charity, that's fine, but next year here they come again.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the same with public service. You put it in there, they issue fishing licenses and marriage licenses and car plates and stuff like that. And then, boom, next year, here you are again with your checkbook out. Now, I get a license plate or a little sticker, a little plastic sticker to put on my license plate or I get my little fishing license, stick in my wallet. But
Yeah.
no, there's nothing produced there. So to forgive student loans when nothing is produced that returns that income other than tax money, that seems, I would think let's put it this way. Let's say if I were giving a commencement speech to MSU,
Right.
I would tell them, look, go into the Peace Corps if you want to, go ride a boat for Greenpeace, or work for a corporation that is developing a way to purify water in Africa. Which is better? Which is going to have the most lasting effect? Or work with a company that's producing some way to bring desert or gardens to the desert. Work with that
Fair
company.
enough.
What's
Sure.
that going to do? You produce something. You increase the value of soil or water or whatever that benefits millions, rather than riding on a boat saving the whales. Come on. Both are notable, but which one? Which one are you gonna do, or which one should you do?
The horrific thing about this is it's now 1.6 trillion, the debt for student loans.
Yeah.
It's held by the government. It's increasing about 100 billion a month.
Yeah.
Because of interest and new loans being made, and held by 45 million people. It's right now it's 7.5% of your GDP. This debt. It's getting to be a financial problem that's not being solved. But we solved it. The
we did. Dump the interest, pay it off.
No interest, pay it off.
Pay it off. All right, let's
go.
Simple pie. Let's go to the phones. 522 talk is the number. 522-8255. Calling you on the air. What's going on? Okay.
Tom.
Yeah. What's
Tom,
up?
Joe Dooling here. How are you, sir?
Hey, Joe. How are you? Hey. You found the number.
Good.
You were supposed to send me a number. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Joe Dooling.
I'm down here looking.
I'm sorry, Joe Dooling running for Congress, right? Running for the state or U.S. Seat in the House. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm trying to call you every 6 weeks, but I'm sitting down here looking at the Southern Cross in Southern Queensland, Australia, and I'm looking at one of the worst droughts I think I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
There isn't anything green. The trees are dead. Everything's dead. It's worse than West Texas.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm down here looking at some cattle and looking at some of their what they're doing to help mitigate the drought. I kind of a multi-faceted trip here. We had a friend of mine getting married, and he was at my wedding 10 years ago, and so I was stood up for one of his groomsmen and down here, and I thought I'd call in, talk a little bit of politics if you want from down under.
Yeah, what's going on in Australia?
These guys have gone crazy about climate change, right?
Yeah.
So any disaster, any kind of the greenies, every time there's a anomaly in the weather, that's due to climate change, and we need to start burning start burning petroleum and stop mining coal and start rationing red meat. It's just bizarre to me to listen to these guys. You don't hear any facts other than it's dry or it rained a lot in Houston or whatever it is. There's some reason that we need to stop doing what we do and blame it on climate change. And it's really bizarre to me that they get away with it.
Yeah.
There was 130,000 people that walked the streets in Melbourne.
Wow.
On climate change. And so the problem is that they've got a countdown clock going, right? And then we're wondering why kids 12 and 13 years of age are having so many mental health issues that they need to see psychiatrists because their anxiety is so high because of this rhetoric that we're talking about that doesn't have any facts to back it up.
So they figure they've only got 12 months to go, huh? or 12 years or 12
there's
years.
A countdown.
Yeah.
It's 10 years. There's a countdown. There's an actual clock.
All right.
Running.
Yeah.
So sometime 10 years from now in the month of August, We're done.
Wow.
And we wonder why kids are getting a little bit worked up.
Yeah. Did you talk to anybody down there, Joe, about the gun buyback program in Australia?
Well, I've been coming and going from Australia for going on about 20 years now. And when I first came here 20 years ago, they just kind of finished that buyback program. And there was guys who, they had their great-grandfather's weapon from the Boer Wars or from World War I.
Right, yeah.
That they had to take down off the mantle and give it to the government.
Wow.
And, they were not, there's definitely, Australia's a lot like U.S. where you have the urban folks that are loud and they make a lot of comments, and you got the urban or the rural folks like, folks in Montana that just kind of go about their business and don't want to be interfered with. And for some reason, the folks that live with all the smog and polluted stormwater are trying to tell us how to live when we're, growing their products and doing a good job at it. So it's the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's an issue here.
This country's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They kind of moved the rules up. Right now, they have a rule that you can't carry the gun and the bullets in the same car.
Wow.
So if you're going to go trap shoot, you got to buy your bullets at the trap shop. Shoot, at the shooting.
Or go shooting with a friend.
At the range.
Huh?
Yeah, or you do it at the range. I mean, they just every year they just pass one more law. Yeah.
Wow.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, we had a great campaign before I left. We started off out of Helena. We went down to Townsend to a search and rescue banquet. We went over to Bozeman, campaign in Bozeman. Woke up the next morning, drove out to Columbus, had eggs and issues out in Columbus, and big roundup gathering in Roundup. Candidates there. Got in a plane with three other statewide candidates. We flew to Missoula for their big Republican dinner. It was about 380 people there.
Good.
The campaign's doing well. End of the quarter's coming. Everybody's going to turn in numbers, and we're getting about 8 months away. It's not the best time to be gone, but it's also good to go get out and see what some of the drought measures that they're taking. There's some lessons to be learned here, and so that's some of the things. We're going to go to a cattle sale tomorrow. Take a look at some of the cattle they're selling. They're moving a lot of cattle out of this country because there's just nothing to feed them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really sad to see.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, good to hear from you, Joe. We appreciate you calling in and giving us an update here, and we'll talk to you again down the road, I'm sure. So thanks for...
Yeah, I finally figured out how to dial out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I didn't hear from the guy in Victoria. Where's the guy from Vancouver?
He's here.
He's right here, good sir.
Oh.
He's right here. He's just a fly on the wall while we're talking here. So
he's got his finger on the button in case
yes, he does.
He
does. Yeah, he's the censor.
He's the censor. Well, you guys have a great trip, and
Pinocchios yet.
Well, I got to tell you, the Cats look tough this weekend. They're going it's going to be a heck of a season, I think.
Yep, I think it will be.
Yeah.
Right.
And, the Grizz are looking pretty tough, too. So
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
We better get our ducks in a row,
All right.
So, all right, you guys, you take care.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. All right. Joe Dooling running for the House seat vacated by Greg Gianforte. So, Joe, always a pleasure to hear from him and what's going on. And he's in Australia, so checking out the drought and buyback weapons and all of that down there. So we'll have him on again, I'm sure, before the primaries begin and all that stuff. So, yeah. All right.
And it's great talking to a politician didn't want to give something away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no free stuff. Or no free stuff we have to pay for, I guess I should say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a quick break here. We'll be back in 90 seconds. 24 minutes after the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. Shane Tobin on the line from me, with me, for me, across the computer from me. He's here somewhere.
I'm on the other side of Skype for you there.
That's
Big Eagle
right.
Man.
Yeah, he's on the other side of Skype for me. So, well, let's see. The Bozeman Police Department wants to sell or destroy unclaimed items it seized to reduce clutter in the evidence room. Yeah, we'll get rid of. Let's get rid of the evidence by all means.
Have an auction.
The department doesn't have a way of getting rid of these things that aren't evidence in an investigation. So we've got room for all kinds of things. They got seized items that go unclaimed after 3 months of them being posted online, and if you want to get over there, they got backpacks, skis, snowboards, drugs, guns. I guess they're not going to give away guns and items that state law provides a procedure to get rid of will not be sold. So those will not be sold. But
wow, they don't have an auction. We have an auction here. The RCMP.
I don't know. Sometimes they've had an auction, I think, for vehicles and stuff like that. But I think this is just stuff that's been turned in or whatever. I think. But anyway, they're unclaimed items, and after property is destroyed or sold, the law said the value of the property is not redeemable by the item's owner. So if you've got a valuable bicycle or something like that and they trash it, they're not going to give you the money back for the bike. So you need to get over there and check it out. Contact the local police department. They will ask the city commission on Monday to approve procedures for getting rid of seized items that go unclaimed after 3 months. So we'll talk to Jeff Krause about that. They'll probably make some kind of decision Monday night and make it easier when the department moves into the new Justice Center on Rouse Avenue. The main drive behind the ordinance, however, was to clear up a space in the evidence room. So if you've got unclaimed property, by all means, we need to figure that out. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK. Is the number. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Good morning. This is Charity.
Hey, Charity, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
So, concerning this getting rid of cattle issue, there's several scriptures that have been mulling through my mind this past several months. And one of them comes out of 1 Timothy. And Paul is writing to Timothy about what's going to happen in the last days, and he says that people will depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, and having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving. And another scripture out of Psalms that David talks about, and he said that our Father, which is the King of kings and Lord of lords, owns cattle on 1,000 hills. And every time I hear people talk about destroying the food sources that God has given us, I just think about how wicked it is, because these are things that God gave to us to keep us healthy and strong. And if man chooses to believe that they have wisdom beyond that of God and do the exact opposite, then they obviously stand in fear of judgment of God. And maybe they don't stand in fear because they don't fear him, but they ought to. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Well said.
That's pretty terrific.
Thanks for the call. Yeah. Well, I agree. I don't have a problem with people who are vegans or vegetarians or whatever, but the rest of us who enjoy a nice steak and the bacon and other quality products.
If they're entitled to be a vegan by choice, I'm entitled to be a carnivore by choice.
That's right. Yep. Hey. Down your salad, I'm down in my steak.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep. Yep. I don't think I should limit my choices in the world. Charity's right. All these things are provided. Why not sample all of them?
That's correct. That's right.
There you go. So I think she's absolutely right. That would be a sin to not do it. So, all right. Well, we've got to go. And Montana State News up, Fox News coming up, and Brooke Foster Weather, Rich's Flooring, Sweet Dental, and more. 23 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. And Shane Matobin, half man, half amazing, on the line with me. Tom Eagle, your morning mayor. And we need to remind you, Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, or this coming week, I should say. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be on assignment. And because of that, we're going to give away football tickets. On Tuesday, you can get in the drawing early if you have the AM 1450 KMMS app. All you need to do is text field goal to our app chat line, and that'll put you in the drawing to get the tickets.
Right,
and we'll give away 2 tickets online tomorrow by phone, so stay tuned for that. Between 7 and 8 o'clock, we'll be giving away tickets tomorrow to the game on Saturday. Northern Arizona's in town. It's Military Appreciation Day, so by all means, get your entries in on our app chat line. Just text field goal to us, and we will get you in the stadium. Let's take some phone calls. 522-TALK is the number. Calling you on the air. What's going on?
Good morning.
Hey.
Hey, have a wonderful day today.
Thank you.
You and Shane, and God bless you guys. And I just wanted to call and say that.
Well, okay.
Well,
all right.
We appreciate that very much, and the very same to you and your family and friends and whoever.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Let's take another call. 522-TALK is the number. Calling you on the air. What's up?
Are you guys bright and shiny this morning?
Of course we are. Of course we are.
Good morning, good sir. How are you today?
Good morning there, Shane. Well, is it sunshine out there?
No.
Not yet. It's not even daylight yet.
Still dark. We're looking out Michelle's window. It's still dark out there. Sun's coming up, though.
Well, I called about global warming.
All right.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
No.
You're not ready, Shane?
No.
Well, if a fella gets a map and puts the map on a table
Yeah.
and finds true north, okay, that's pretty easy. It's 360 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, magnetic north, where is it at? In this hemisphere here where we're at.
Well, it's supposed to be toward the North Pole somewhere. I don't know if it's exactly at the North Pole, but it's somewhere up there.
Well, what is magnetic north is going from the North Pole, if you lay it on a map on a table.
Mm-hmm.
Magnetic north is going to the west more and more.
They think it might flip one of these days.
Well, what I'm trying to say is this here. Why is magnetic north becoming more to the west? It is because the Earth is tipping towards the west. You follow me?
Oh.
It's tipping, okay.
I thought it was because you get better reception of Tom and Shane.
Well, it could be. And then when you have electrical storms and stuff like this, okay, all over the world. Now, this is my theory, and I think I'm right. You charge the magnetic core of the Earth, the iron molten core that causes the magnetism of the Earth. And as you go along, it does two things. It creates a horrendous amount of nitrogen in the soils, lightning does. But they believe in this global warming. Remember the Dust Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What'd that say to you? Mm-hmm. Now, we're going through a change that the Earth does pretty regular. And the reason I'm saying all this here is because here in Montana, I've said this before, this used to be a seabed, part of it, and part of it was the tropics. Okay, that wasn't man-made either. This here was before we really inhabited much of the Earth. There was a few people here, but not many. And the global warming community hasn't, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't really studied the magnetic poles of the Earth, why the Earth is the way it is, why it tips, why it wobbles, which when it wobbles is called precession when it runs around the sun. And the more it tips to the west, the closer the Earth becomes closer to the sun. And when you become closer to the sun, you're going to become hotter. I don't know why the professors and stuff at the universities, these liberal professors that don't teach this kind of stuff. When you're a pilot, as I am, and a lot of other friends are, you have to know where you're flying. And if you set a course, you got to set a magnetic course from true north. And you got to allow for wind drift and everything and set that with it. And so
can I just want to give you a little update on something while you're talking about this.
Okay.
Because you're talking about true north in the Arctic. So all those believers about global warming, here's an update for you, folks.
Okay.
So September 23rd, the Canadian Coast Guard Amundsen was stuck in ice on a 115-day global warming research voyage because of the thickness of the ice shield of the Arctic. It's the largest it's been in 100 years. A Russian icebreaker was stuck in the Arctic. Global warming supposedly this year. Canada's second largest icebreaker got stuck because of the ice in the Arctic. Oh, and this is great. A global warming expedition, out of the archipelago from Norway that went to the north. They got stuck in the ice because of the size of the ice shield in the Antarctic this year. So let me tell you, folks, all these stories about the Antarctic melting and the ice shield being reduced, no, not even close. It's almost doubled in size this last winter. So, and this is, I'm not making this up. I gave you
fact.
6 examples.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, Shane, is why in the heck don't the professors at the universities teach the right thing? Why do they assume? Why do they assume things? Why don't they take and teach proven stuff?
Because they'll get beat up over the head in the teacher's lounge and in the cafeteria and everywhere else from their peers. That's unacceptable thinking, Clint.
Oh my!
And they won't get their research money. They won't get financed.
Yeah, there's no research money to prove what is really out there. You got to prove what the research money wants you to prove. So. Well, I got to go, Clint. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I just want to straighten out global warming somewhat. Thanks, Shane.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call.
Bet, buddy.
All right, appreciate it. All right. We'll be right back right after these important words. Stay tuned. 14 minutes before the top of the hour, Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 48 degrees outside. Shane Tobin, half man, half amazing, is on the line. Tommy Goloff, your morning mayor, in the house, and this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox. Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of this week. We are on assignment, but you'll be treated to some quality entertainment, as they say. Jeff Krause will not be here tomorrow. Mike McCormick will join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Shane and I will be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But we will be back on the 30th for your entertainment pleasure. And I'm sure you'll be treated to some quality entertainment while we are away. So.
Well, we'd like to think so.
Absolutely. We'd like to give away some football tickets tomorrow since we can't give them away on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday of next week, or this week rather, I should say this week. I've been saying this next week all week, but so tomorrow between 7 and 8 we'll be giving away 2 tickets by phone, but we'll also be giving away 2 app chat tickets. So if you have the KMMS AM app, get the app chat out. And the app chat button is right next to the listen button. And all you got to do is text field goal to us. Field goal, FIELDGOAL. Field goal to us. And that'll put you in the drawing for the 2 tickets. And that you have until the show is over tomorrow morning to get that done. So we will give away 2 tickets by phone, and then we'll give away 2 tickets by app chat after 9 o'clock tomorrow. It's Northern Arizona and it's Military Appreciation Day. And someone texted, did the Cats win this weekend? They did. They beat Norfolk State 56-21. So it was a close game, but they pulled it out, 56-21.
Wow, what a score!
That was the score. So they are now 3-1, and they are 2-0 at home, 1-1 away, and we haven't started the conference play yet. So they're 0-0 in the conference, where it counts. And as I said, the next game is going to be this Saturday at 1 o'clock, Northern Arizona. It's going to be Parent Family Weekend and Military Appreciation Day. So by all means, we've got 4 tickets we're going to give away, 2 by phone and 2 with our app chat app. So if you don't have the KMMS app, it's AM 1450 KMMS. Do a search for it and download the app and get set up with the app chat. And if you don't know how to do that, all you got to do is go to our website, kmmsam.com. And the How to Win Football tickets is there, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. So let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you on the air. What's up?
I see, and I've never put a name to this one because only a brave person will put a name on this one. I see in the Chronicle poll that it's running 9-1 against the pharmaceutical industry getting control of it. Now, that's one of the most lopsided polls I've seen. So I would suspect the pharmaceutical industry, as we know it, is about to disappear. And along with a lot of other dinosaur industries in capitalism. In fact, I would say capitalism itself is a dinosaur, and it's going to disappear. So here's a personal question to just drive home my point. Although you, Tom, daily sing the praises of capitalism, look right before your very nose with all the quality, hard work you do, getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning, working like a hamster at a wheel. Aren't you just getting peanuts? Is that the rewards of capitalism, whereas some people are just sitting back and drinking alcohol and watching their money amass while you're running around on the ground trying to work for peanuts?
Well, what makes you think I'm working for peanuts? And turn your radio down if you would.
Well, all right, it wouldn't be the radio.
Well, whatever. I just heard myself in the background. But what people are not aware of is I'm not an employee of Town Square Media or KMMS. I made a deal to sell this show to them for a price that I feel is fair to me, and they accepted. So that's where we are.
Yeah, and the first premise in regards to your observation is that capitalism provides free choice. So people choose to do what they want to do.
Yeah, that's true.
They make that choice.
You can buy,
no one's forced to do it.
Yeah, you can buy or not buy a product. You can buy or not buy a service. It's need versus want. Do you need it or do you want it? Either.
And you work at this job or you don't. You choose.
Yeah. And that's why I say this job right now is just padding my retirement. So
all right, what political,
about,
social, economic system is going to replace capitalism if you think it's going to die? What's going to replace it?
Well, how about modified capitalist socialism? You don't have to have something
failed. Fascism has failed. That's already tried. They're trying to do it in China, and it's going to turn into a mess for 1.2 billion people. But
well, there are plenty of modifications. You don't have to have the same car you were driving in 1912.
You already have socialism in the United States.
Line.
No, but you already have socialism. 47% of Americans don't pay taxes. The upper 10% pay 87% of all the taxes: state, federal, county, local. So I mean, how many programs have we counted? 47, Tom?
126 poverty programs.
126 poverty programs and straight out 47 social programs in your country. So
we are a capitalist nation with socialist programs for the people who need those programs.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to throw statistics around, what about the one worldwide that less than 10% of the people worldwide own 50% of the property and goods and services?
Well,
who have lifted more people out of poverty worldwide than at any other time in history. 1.7 billion people on the planet, and 1.5 people are now out of poverty. So,
all right, so now they earn $4 a day instead of $2 a day. That might seem like being out of poverty, but that's hardly up into the middle class.
Well, no, it isn't, but it's by poverty rates. That's what they go by. Yeah, I mean that's the number. It's like unemployment or any other number that's out there. It's based on what's happening in the world, and there's no such thing as income inequality. There just isn't. What I make has no bearing whatsoever on what Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett makes. I have the ability to, I could go out and get a second job. I'm off at noon or so. Well, I could go out and get an afternoon job and pad my income even more. But but I'm not going to sit here and get enough jobs to get to Warren Buffett area, or I'm not demanding that he give me, those three guys give me money, because it's not fair that they make more than I do. They did a lot of things that I didn't do. So why do I fault them? And also, there's not a finite amount of money in the world. If he took $1 from me to be rich, then I would be mad about that. But there isn't a finite amount of money in the world. The amount of money in the world is unlimited. So I can always make more.
Yeah, and you can also end up being a worn-out little hamster.
I can, but that's my
hard for 2 years and then poof.
But that's my choice.
Well, don't you have any compassion for people that would rather not take that choice?
Sure, but why do I have to pay for them?
Well, how about the people that have all the money stashed away that are doing nothing but sitting there and not even in the bank, that is sitting as dashes and dots and computers as a whole pool of money that's sitting around doing nothing?
Well, I don't believe there's a pool of money sitting around doing nothing unless they're totally stupid.
Well, in this system, there's two choices. You live to work because you love the job you do, and you jump out of bed every day and you're excited to do it, or you work to live because you got to make bills and you work for the man. So either you find something you love to do and enjoy it, or you don't. And of the 160 million people in your country working today, 126 million are in private sector jobs. 9 million are self-employed. There are only 15 million union jobs and 23 million government jobs. So your explanation about the failure of capitalism doesn't really work well for the number of people that are working and having sustained the greatest country in the world in the history of mankind. Fed more people, freed more people, lifted more people out of poverty than anyone else. So I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, you may also be limited in your vision. There's another controversial one. There were civilizations like Atlantis and Lemuria that blew themselves up because of misuse of technology and tricky thoughts like people are having with genetic engineering.
Well, I don't know about that, but I got to go, Daniel. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm up
I got to
against the
go.
break. Hey, thanks for the call. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 49 degrees outside. Just when I turned the sound up on you, you cough.
Apologize to all the
Now your
listeners out
sound's
there.
back up. I got to learn not to do that, not to turn you up until I'm done.
It's all my fault.
That's all right. Well, hey, a cough is good. You know, it clears the throat and the brain, whatever.
Yeah, it helped my heart.
If you have a heart attack, coughing is something you're supposed to do. Yeah.
That's right. If you're having a heart attack, cough, cough,
Cough,
'cause it
cough
keeps
hard. Cough hard.
Yeah,
Yep.
cough hard.
That's
It keeps the pump going, baby.
That's it. All right, let's rock and roll with some phone calls this hour. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you on the Morning Soapbox. What's up? Hello. Oh, you're on the Morning Soapbox. Hello.
Hey, guys, it's Mayor.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi, Mayor.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Say, I just want to give you a little report. I went to North Dakota this weekend to Bismarck, which I hadn't been. I was raised there. I hadn't been there in 20 years, and what a beautiful city. Those commissioners, whoever they may be, have done a beautiful job. But we went to it's called the Heritage Center, so it's a museum like our museum we have here. It's brand new, very well done, and it was free, I might add.
Wow.
To anybody and everybody.
It's all that oil money, Mayor. It's all that oil money.
All that oil money. Yep, all that nasty oil, But they had a couple of displays that were really interesting, I think, to these climate change fanatics. Just showing the development of the planet millions and probably billions of years ago. I don't know what the dates were, but, most of this part of the country was covered with water. And, when it wasn't covered with water, it was covered with ice. And, we didn't have anything to do with the melting of that ice, let me tell you. And then they had a display on fracking. And these people that are saying, they're injecting the water and chemicals to, into the shale. Well, that's not happening at groundwater level. That's happening thousands of feet below our water level. And the fracking haters are saying it's polluting our groundwater, which is impossible to do if it's being, those chemicals and water is being injected. According to the display, it was 10,000, at least 10,000 feet below.
Yeah, 10 to 20,000 feet. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you don't have to go very far to find the information you need to debunk a lot of this nonsense that's going on, in our country right now. Or in the world, actually. I mean, it's absolutely bat crap crazy as far as I'm concerned. So I just wanted to report that, to these people that aren't, that want to believe in climate change. It's the earth does what the earth does, and there's not one darn thing any amount of money is going to be able to do to change that.
I was going to say the earth beat the dinosaurs, so let's remember that.
Yeah. Well, and I don't believe that, the dinosaurs created all this oil. They call it fossil fuel. I think that's a bunch of crap. I think the earth is generating that all by itself because there couldn't have been enough dinosaurs to create how many millions or billions of gallons of oil have we gone through?
Well, plus you're finding it everywhere on the planet. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's just
how many dinosaurs died in the Gulf of Mexico? I wonder.
Well, and how many dinosaurs does it take to make a barrel of oil? I mean, I don't know.
That's right. I'm sure it's at least two.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think we learned a lot of crap in school, even we did, and I think they're teaching a lot more of it now. So
that's why we're here, Mayor.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But to all the people that believe the way they believe, you don't have to go that far to see that some of your belief system is skewed. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
There you go.
Hey, good call.
All right.
Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Well, she makes an excellent point, Shane, that we tend to filter. Most of us do, anyway. I think we of course, it's obvious. Shane and I have our own beliefs here,
Of course.
but we also, because of the jobs we do here, we do have to consider other points of view. We
Of course
watch
we do.
we watch
Okay.
we watch CNN, we watch MSNBC. I spend as much time probably on YouTube looking at what MSNBC's reporting or CNN, their sound bites as much as I do here. So
That's right.
because we need to know those things. We need to know what the what opposing thoughts are. And if you give me true facts, I'll change my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not etched in stone on any particular thing. But let's go to the text line 478-8298. Remember when Obama asked a foreign government to dig up dirty on Mitt Romney? Remember that, Shane?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll have more flexibility after the election. Be sure and tell them that. Not just dinosaurs made oil. It was plant material, including algae and plankton. So there you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a dynamic thing. It's a natural material. It's a carbon material. We're a carbon-based planet.
I was going
We're
to say,
carbon-based animals.
don't animals
oil-
die all over the world every day?
That's right.
Yeah.
And oil is a carbon-based unit that's from a natural process that the planet has created it.
All right.
Man just simply took it and redefined it, refines it into different products that have changed the world for hopefully ever.
Yeah. Let's go to the phones. 522 Talk is the number. Call you on the air. What's going on?
Oil can.
Sorry, what? We can't hear you again, Vinny.
Yeah, he disappeared.
I'm sorry. Can't hear you. Let's see. How many listeners have read the Mueller report? Poll question. I guess the Mueller report is just never going to go away from us, ever.
That's right. Never, yeah.
If you want to read it, it's online. I downloaded it maybe one of these days. Well, I'm going to be off for 3 days. Maybe I'll read it during those 3 days I'm off. Yeah. Let's take another phone call. 522 Talk is the number. This is Vinny again. You got a better connection, man?
Can you hear this?
Not very well.
No.
Okay, how about that?
That's a little better.
Oil can be created. You take carbonaceous shale and water and organisms that can process carbonaceous shale, and you move to create oil.
All right. Did you get any of that, Shane?
No, I don't. I can't understand.
I'm sorry, Vinny. We need a better
I'm
phone
good,
system
Vinny.
for you. I don't know what we're going to do for you. Sorry. Well, I don't know what to tell him.
Well, I
don't know if it's his phone or
Yeah.
our system or what, but the two aren't
Well, it's
compatible
not
for
his
whatever
phone.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get very much of that. Something about shale and something about whatever. Maybe you text it to us, Vinny, and see if we can't get it that way. So, let's see. In other local news, we've got. The Emmys were last night, which I didn't watch,
Yeah.
but Ozark was nominated. A Bozeman-based producer lives here in Bozeman, and Patrick Markey was a theater guy in college and pursued a master's degree in the theater arts at Ohio State University. Saw himself working on plays in New York City, but when he was offered work on the 1980 movie Brubaker, which was filmed near where he lived, Robert Redford, probably remember that. Markey said he and Redford formed a good working relationship through which he built a career in the film industry, and that career brought him to Montana to film A River Runs Through It, an adaptation of the book by the same name by Norman MacLean. We're all familiar with that, of course, Brad Pitt and others. Filming ended, but Markey never left, and so they produced this film Ozark, which, looking at the Emmy winners, won 2 Emmy Awards last night. Yeah, which is pretty good. Let's see. It was, let me scroll back up here to the beginning. Let's see, go through here. It was up for Best Drama against Game of Thrones, which won. Ozark was on Netflix. And it did win for Jason Bateman directing, and it won for the supporting actress, Julia Garner. And again, that was up against 4 other people from Game of Thrones. Wow.
Wow.
So, Game of Thrones really kicked it last night, I guess. So, let's see. All right. Let's see. Well, let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll get some of our text questions and answers and stuff in here right after these important words. Stay tuned. 20 minutes after the hour of 8 a.m., our final segment of the KMMS Morning Show with Tom and Shane. And from our text line, let's see, saying being more flexible is exactly the same as asking a foreign government to interfere in our elections. By the way, I kept my doctor under Obamacare, and under Trump, my premiums went up 22% because of his executive order. Well, don't vote for him next time around then. That'd
there you go.
be the easiest way to take care of that.
Sort of an easy choice, isn't it?
And overnight, listeners became geologists and claim oil was not made from carbon life forms. Amazing. Well, I don't think they were saying that. I think we were saying that they came from plants and animals and other stuff. So let's see. Let's see. I'm not going to bother with follow-up on the Mueller report because we've just, I don't know, gone. It's immaterial. Who cares?
Well, a lot of science is trying to perceive this because there's so much carbon, solid carbon, called coal, and it naturally occurs as a element in on the planet.
Yeah.
So, a lot of scientists are trying to understand, to benefit from issues that we're dealing with fossil fuel, how coal is involved in becoming oil.
Or diamonds.
That's right, or diamonds, exactly. And the Nazis back in the 30s figured out to gasify coal, so they could turn it into gasoline,
right?
And gas. And so there's been studies, and it's been, this is something they worked on for 100 years, and they're getting pretty close. I mean, they may come to terms with understanding it and find out they may be able to use coal to convert it to oil, and and so forth. But the bottom line is a natural element of the planet. It's just a natural element.
Yeah. Enough said. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox. What's up?
Hey, I think we should start spreading the rumor that there's a finite amount of lava in the world.
Ooh.
And then it's blamed on liberalism. And so we've got to get rid of liberalism, otherwise we're going to run out of lava.
That's
I mean, is it not the most absurd thing in the world?
Now we're talking. Now you're on to something, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, if we don't, lava will melt the surface of the planet.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Daniel got my brain thinking a little bit. He was throwing out so much mush. I had to start actually using my brain. So on the fossil stuff, haven't there been many, many million more other animals than dinosaurs that would have also contributed? Why is it just dinosaurs? That this whole cartoon mythology of bones be creating a hydrocarbon is just the most absurd thing in the world. Our planet creates oil, and it's a complete rejuvenating resource that'll never end. Just like lava would never end. Just like everything will never end. It keeps growing and dying and growing and dying.
That's right.
Well, if you look, scientists will tell you that 99.9% of all plant and living species on this planet have gone extinct at least 6 times. Like,
right.
you know, like everything. And naturally gone extinct for various reasons, right?
Sure.
So,
right.
I mean, this is no big surprise, folks.
Well, you see, these guys are brilliant. They've turned this into it's Western civilization's fault. It's the white man's fault. It's capitalism's fault. You know, it's the SUV's fault. Everything. And then so therefore now we must change it. And the change is let a white Western European government run everything. You know, it's absurd. They're blaming everything, and then they turn around and go, but it'll only be perfect when we, those same people in a form of government, control everything.
That's right. So, you know, government should control everything so that people won't starve, right? When everything else has shown that just is not what's happened.
Yeah.
And,
talk to everybody in any kind of dictatorial country that's starving and has starved. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and I mean, Daniel, God love him. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about him because I met him. He seems like a nice guy. But the whole capitalist thing, you know, it's funny because rich people die every day, right? And does every poor person's life become better because that rich person is no longer there to spend the money that he hid under his mattress, right? You know what I mean? It's absurd to think that because there's a rich person, someone else is suffering. It's, you know, we live in a system where you're free to, you know, of course there's always going to be poor people because there's always going to be people who don't achieve, who don't work as hard, who, you know, a lot of rich people failed 4 times before they got rich or before they became middle class.
That's true.
And so
I can speak to that personally.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right. I mean, I wasn't making any money when I was in my early 20s, so should I have been like, well, there's my whole life. It's all over. I'm done. I'm never going to make anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right, you guys. Enjoy chatting.
Thanks.
All right.
Excellent.
Great call. Great call.
All right. See you, Tom.
All right.
Monday morning.
Great call. Great call. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to our text line. Tell Charity the Democrats have to destroy methane emitting livestock, including cattle, as part of their agenda. I mean, after all, they have to find a definitive way to keep students from drinking that evil chocolate milk.
Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the caller's question is rhetorical, and he knows that climate change has been around since the flood. The Democrats teach climate change as a recent phenomenon caused by excessive carbon emissions. As part of their brainwashing of our young people, it's all about power, control, and carbon tax. I love nothing more than to sit back and drink alcohol while belching and watching my money grow. Please tell Danny to give us a break once in a while. He can be so monotonous. Whine, whine, whine. On this day in history, 12,000 BC, Missoula, Montana was under 950 feet of water from the glacial lake Missoula.
That's true.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Oil is not manufactured by Earth. That is absurd. Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of arguments against that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Scientific.
Yeah. Let's see. Oil is a hydrocarbon, carbonaceous, I guess, shale and hot water. The specific organism that poops oil is fracking. So there we are.
Yeah.
Come on, Daniel. $4 a day might be a fortune in Nigeria. You're being an idiot. It's all relative to living cost in the place. Living cost in the place you live.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Hannity's theme song "Freedom" is about a wife beater. Weird. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, we better do that one. Yeah. Oh, let's see. I think we're caught up.
Oh, good.
On everything there. Let's see how we're doing over on the our app chat line. People are beginning to put the field goal in, so good for them. Doofus R. Peterson, it is your damn radio that is causing feedback. Turn your damn radio down when calling in because we can hear it, and your arrogance and rudeness is annoying, making us all listen to the squelch and squeal of feedback. If you don't like where you worked and felt you were the hamster on the wheel of a ruthless master, then I have one suggestion: a move. Okay, from our app chat line. So
there you go.
All right. Let's see. Just a heads up, Huffine is going slow into town this morning. Commuters might want to get off at Gooch and cross over to Stuckey, or go through Black Bull to Durston. Yeah, they're doing some work on the corner of Cottonwood and Huffine Road there, and they've got a 35 speed limit through there, so you may want to reroute either down Durston or down Stuckey, either one. So, all right, that wraps up for this half hour. We come back, we might try to get in 5 things you need to know, because there are 5 things you need to know at least. We'll be right back right after this. Hang on. 24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Monday. It is September 23rd, 2019, 52 degrees outside. Shane and I will not be here Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We are going to give away 4 tickets, actually, to the Saturday game against Northern Arizona. It's Military Appreciation Day, and we'll give away 2 by phone tomorrow between 7 and 8. And we'll also give away 2 on our app chat line. All you need to do is go to KMMS AM 1450 KMMS, click on the app chat, and text the words "field goal" to us, FIELDGOAL, and we will get there. We will do those tickets tomorrow because we are going to be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. So we got a caller patiently waiting on the line. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Good morning again.
Yeah.
I was just chatting there with Shane about a variety of things, but I wanted to give my 2 cents about global warming. And,
sure,
you know, it's funny, not ha-ha funny, but how nobody ever seems to take into consideration how over, you know, the geological record shows us, and we know that over thousands and thousands of years we've had different ice age periods of extreme warming, and it fluctuating back and forth like this over the millennia. And of course, most of these episodes occurred before man even really had much of a footprint on the earth. So how do they, you know, how is this, you know, how do they explain that? You know, it's, you know, I personally believe that, I don't know, I think the statistics are that since they've been keeping track of weather and so forth over 100 years or so, the temperatures really hasn't fluctuated more than a couple of degrees.
Yep.
So I just don't know where all this comes from. It's, you know, it's just, it's a fad almost. It's like, it's almost as notorious as the Mueller report. It just can't, it never goes away, you know.
Yeah,
but,
well, it doesn't seem to.
No, so anyway, that's about all I had to say about it.
Well, hey, thanks for your input. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening. All right. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you on the air. What's going on?
Oh, I was hoping Shane, if he's still there,
yeah,
because he seems to keep up on the international stuff, if he could speak to the elections in Israel.
Sure.
What he thinks about that. There's some back and forth, and I don't need to be on the line. I just wanted to hear him talk about it.
Yeah, we'll bring you up to speed on that. Yeah, thanks for the call.
Great,
right.
thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, yeah. Shane, Israel, they had a close election there.
That's right.
Neither one won, so to speak.
Right, and yesterday the president of Israel asked Benny Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu to sit down, blue and white, 33 seats, and Likud with 31 seats. You need 61 seats to form a government, and they should get together and form a unity government. Problem is, Benny will not do it if Benjamin's prime minister, and Benjamin won't do it if Benny's prime minister. So they're still negotiating with the other minority parties.
Are there Are there enough votes where either one of them could get the 61? I don't think there are there?
No, no.
Yeah, there's not enough votes to do the other. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue and white has 33, and Likud has 31. So that's 64 of 120 seats available. But that means there's like close to 60 other seats they can negotiate. So I think Benjamin Netanyahu will put together another conservative group, particularly with the religious right. That's my call. We'll wait and see.
Okay. All right. Let's take another call. 522-TALK is the number. Call you on the air. What's going on? Guess not. All right. Let's see. The climate change hoax is explained in one sentence. Drinking the Kool-Aid. All right. Great point. What caused the Ice Age? Yeah.
Well, that's right. And just for everyone's edification, because it's sort of important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the last Ice Age, 75,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And let's talk about North America. The Great Ice Shield from the Arctic all the way to the Caribbean, okay?
Right.
All the way.
Yeah.
It was 35,000 feet thick. You know, that's 7 miles. And, you know, what caused that to melt? We weren't here. Give me a break.
Guess not.
Right?
All right. But there was plenty of ice for our beverages.
That's right.
If we had been here.
Cold.
If we had been here. Yeah, right. All right. We got to take another quick break. We'll be back in just 1 minute, so stay tuned real quick. 17 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2019, 52 degrees outside. And, from our text line, Shane, Hannity's been changing theme songs. That the first was Independence Day by McBride. And that's true. So he has a wife-beating theme song now, I guess. So I guess we can go there. Let's see. Let's see. Poll question. Did your tax return increase or decrease in 2018? Tax cut, remove state deduction, which hurt Montana with high taxes, and no sales tax. Well, it didn't hurt me, Eddie. I don't know. Maybe you need another account or a better one. So now people who love freedom are wife beaters, I suppose, in the same way that conservatives are on the terrorist watch list, and Trump is an existential threat, a racist bigot, enticing violence. Wow.
Wow.
There you go. Wow. All right, let's take some calls. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the air. What's going on?
All right, I just got a quick idea.
Yep.
Every time we win an argument with liberals, they call us racist.
Right.
So every time they even mention global warming, just call them a liar. When they continue talking about it, just keep saying liar, 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 liar. Eventually, if they are logical, it's going to have to drive them to the point where they're going to look for some actual facts to back up their arguments, or they'll just keep talking, which either way. But my other theory on the global warming, everybody who's for global warming is a liberal. Everybody who's for keeping black people in chains is a liberal, physically or, figuratively. So what I think is really going on is they're scared that it's going to get so hot that eventually they're going to turn black and they won't be the slave drivers, they'll be the slaves. So,
Man,
okay.
All right.
All right, see ya.
Write a book.
All right, thanks for the call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you on the air. What's going on?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Steve.
Hey, Steve.
So, climate change, all this stuff got me always fired up. But we need a little context. So 20 years ago, when I was in school receiving my education, we were told 11,000 years ago were when we domesticated dogs. Well, 2 years ago, they came out and said, oh, well, we have evidence that dogs are domesticated 15,000 years ago. Okay, there's one example. And this is over a short 20-year period of research through archaeology and all that good fun stuff. Then we've had tons of different examples. Oh, no, we were in the Stone Age 10,000 years ago. Modern archaeology has recently discovered 12,000-year-old flourishing advanced civilization. Well, wait a second. Just, a couple decades ago, it was only 6,000 years. Now it's 12,000 years ago. And Shane mentioned 12,000 years ago, we were in an ice age. There was over 7 miles of ice on the North American continent. Well, traditional archaeology tells us that, oh, no, humans were beating rocks back then, and they couldn't flourish with civilizations yet. Modern archaeology has turned up many examples of advanced civilizations 12,000 years and older. In fact, in Israel, or just outside of Israel, they just discovered evidence of a 15,000-year-old well-developed civilization. Now, let's keep in mind, climate change was happening the whole time. the whole time. And what drives me nuts is these people today in our climate society, they're so freaked out that everything's going to end in 10 years. Yet all they have to do is go read a couple books and realize we, as humans, have been dealing with this for 15,000 years plus. What makes now different?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely
exactly.
nothing.
Like,
just that Tom and Shane are here.
Yeah, we're talking about it with you.
Boys, I tell you what, our society's gone so far away from just common sense. Like, read some history books, inform yourself, and realize these people are just being paranoid, and they want to control your life. Wake up, people.
All right.
That's all I had to say, Tom. You guys have a great day.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, no straws while you're reading. Let's go to the phones. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, thanks for waiting. You're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. How about that climate change? You can find petrified palm trees all over in the fields down here in Belgrade.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm just curious when they're going to get rid of Obamacare. Last year they took $870 out of my taxes for Obamacare. And I thought we were done with that. And
well,
so
it's still there. You have the option of getting rid of it and looking for other insurance.
Right, but they're still penalizing people for not having it.
No, the individual mandate went away.
Well, last year I got $870 taken out.
Yeah,
well, that was for the previous year. I would think, not for this year. You're not going to have it taken out this time around.
No.
Okay. Well,
it's gone.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Yeah. Yeah, the individual mandate that went away, but it was still in the taxes till they ran it through or got the Supreme Court ruling on it.
That's right. It's not the Affordable Care Act, as we've constantly talked about for 10 years. It's the Affordable Insurance Act, and the Democrats brought it in to save the insurance industry. That's what happened in 2008. The insurance company was collapsing because of the Great Recession, and they had to figure out a way to save it. Mm-hmm. So they thought, we'll win political policy by, saving it through using it in healthcare. Well, it didn't work, folks. Unfortunately, you paid a lot of money to save insurance companies.
All right. Let's see. From our text line, 478-8298. Sean's theme is now a country song. Okay. Global warming is real. What is a hoax is that it will continue and that taxing Americans will fix it. Well, go along with that. Let's see. Read history books, especially the part about how many times tariffs have worked. Okay. Well, they probably worked all times, or they wouldn't have gotten rid of them, I guess. So, let's see. The McBride song is about a wife beater. Here, Let Freedom Ring is when she got away from him. Why on earth how did he pick that song? Makes me think of wife beating. Well, I think it's the Freedom Ring thing. Hannity's theme, Big and Rich, we're coming to a city now, not Let Freedom Ring anymore. Okay, I guess so. Would you consider a poll question asking for feedback on your bumper music, including bumper music introducing your show? Of course we would. Why would we not? Yeah. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. You like our bumper music and the intro to the show or not? Well,
yeah, there you go. So I had an epiphany over the weekend. Can I give you a minute epiphany?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so I expect that Trump will win in a landslide. The Democratic Party will, not accept the results once again. And as a result, what they're going to do is, because they'll be now a marginalized regional party for sure, because I think it'll be both in the Congress and Senate as well, they'll move to take the sanctuary cities they control and make them city-states and want them to secede from your union. It will be the new civil war of the 21st century after the one in the 1800s that the Democrats started. So I think we got to talk about that possibility.
Well, I don't think cities are going to secede from the union and be landlocked.
Sure, why not? You have cities.
Well, they'll be landlocked. How are they going to do business?
Hey, in all kinds of city-states that were landlocked.
Well,
Rome's a city-state. It's landlocked.
Yeah, but they've been a city-state for like 500 years or longer.
I know.
Well, what time is it? My electronic devices around the house are feeding me conflicting info. Well, it's time for a break. It's 8:51, 07, 08, 09, 010. We'll be right back right after this. It is 3 minutes before the top of the hour, Monday, September 23rd, 2019. We got a caller waiting on the line. So, caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox. What's up?
How's it going, Tom? This is Mike.
Hi, Mike.
So I just want to offer up an opinion on the bombings of the oil place there, the refinery. I really don't think it was Iran. If you think about it, they only hit storage tanks. And then they said they're going to be online in like a week again. If you were an enemy, wouldn't you hit something a little bit more vital if you were really worried about it?
I would think so. You run the risk of loss of life. That I think brings people more after you than if you just bomb objects.
Right.
I think that was my question too. How many people died during this? And there's no report of anybody dying or being killed.
No.
So
I think it's a hoax, man. I think either we did it or Saudi did it, or the Houthis are claiming it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why we're gonna. Hopefully, we don't do anything.
I don't think it's our business, and Shane agrees.
No,
with
I
me,
don't either.
Yeah.
And actually, all their oil is basically bought by China and India now. Anyways, I thought Sean Hannity rants about us being oil independent every day. So why do we even care?
We don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why oil didn't. That's why oil didn't spike because on the markets because we're oil independent. And it's not going to affect us.
Right.
Finally,
they just need to get the heck out of there.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right.
Time's up, huh?
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks for the call. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's time we. I think it's time we got out of there, Shane.
100%.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Let's people fight among themselves, I guess. Put enough people there to defend our interests, I guess. Companies that are there or whatever. But anyway, say goodbye, Shane.
Goodbye, Mary. Always a pleasure. Look forward to speaking with you in the morning. Everybody else, be happy, be safe, and God bless.
All right. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. We are out of here. Hey, don't forget, text field goal to us on the app chat line to get football tickets this Friday. November 28th, the Northern Arizona's in town, Military Appreciation Day. We're going to give away 2 tickets on our app chat line. Just text us field goal on the app chat, and we'll give away 2 on the air tomorrow between 7 and 8. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see everybody bright and early Tuesday morning at 6 a.m.